Hi guys! So I'm going to be doing a Q&A today. Last week I asked you guys to ask me questions via my Instagram story, and some of you had some really awesome questions, so I'm here to answer them. And these are coming from opera singers and not opera singers alike, so if there's something that you're curious about, I may have an answer for you here. So let's get started. Alright, so the first question is, how do I select the best audition arias? Now before I answer this question, I just have to preface and say that I myself am still a young artist, and I definitely don't have all of the best answers for these, but I can tell you what I think and what I've learned. And if you agree or if you disagree, let me know. So how do you select the best audition arias, or even the best audition songs? I would say select something that works for your voice and works for your personality. Something that I've learned is that people on panels want to hear you. They don't want to hear some version of what you think you should be. They want to hear what you can do. And so selecting something that shows off your voice in its best light and just shows what you're capable of, and also shows who you are, is what they want to see. They want to see you. And even if it doesn't get you the gig, at least you're being true to yourself. Second question is, I want to learn how to make vocal exercises for theater. So this is actually an excellent question. Again, not an expert in this at all. I do have a degree in vocal pedagogy, and so I do know a lot about how the voice works. What I would say about vocal exercises for theater, we need to do things that encourage breath flowing through the voice, that encourage all different dynamic ranges within the voice, and also moving through all different pitches. So like in singing, whenever I warm up my students, we always work the entire range and we always work flow of breath. And I think for speech, that's probably the exact same thing that you need. The voice is the vessel and the vehicle for singing and acting, and that system has got to stay healthy. So that's what I got for you. Okay, this is a two-part question. How long did it take you to feel like you had command over and understood your instrument? Any advice for getting to know your instrument better? Oh, computer, please shut up. First thing I would say, the word command over your instrument probably isn't the best word to use. Only because I feel like when vocal technique is really working, there's nothing that you're commanding. It's just kind of happening. And you have to trust that it's happening. So that's the first thing. It's like, release the word command. When did I feel like I understood my instrument? Probably like a year ago. Yeah, I feel like for a really long time I was just kind of doing what I thought was correct, doing what my teachers asked of me, which worked, but I didn't really understand why. And so like taking the time and the initiative and also going to school and learning about the ins and outs of my instrument for real really helped me understand my own. So understanding others' instruments helped me understand my own. There are a lot of great TED Talks, on vocal techniques, so I would encourage you to look out for those and reach out to me, and I'll reach out to you because I know who you are and you know who I am. I've made my students watch them, and they tell me that they're like, whoa, I didn't know any of that about the voice. Also, I think having a team of teachers that you trust makes a world of difference, and also teachers specifically that will tell you what's going on, that aren't like, oh, do this because it helps, but they're like, do this because we're working your middle voice, we're getting your breath going, do this because we're working your high voice, your upper extension, your lower extension, whatever. Teachers that like can help explain those things, I think are very valuable. Ask them those specific questions, and hopefully they know what they're talking about. Alright, what is your favorite language to sing in other than English? This is such a hard one, because I really do enjoy singing in all the languages for the most part. I mean, some of them are easier and harder than others. My favorite probably to sing in right now is German. I just have a very good feeling in my mouth when I sing in German. Like, my articulators enjoy moving with German, and I have a pretty easy time expressing the way that I want to in German. So, tips for composers writing for opera and singers. Such a good question. I would say the main thing to consider is voice parts that you're writing for, where their breaks and their shifts happen. So like a soprano and a mezzo are going to have different passaggio. That word means passage, which is basically the place where you like shift registers. So like chest voice to head voice, there's a big shift there. And then like once you get into the upper extension, there's a big shift there too. So understanding where those shifts are for soprano, mezzo, tenor, bass, baritone, bass. And then also understanding what vowels work in different places. Because it's not the same for everyone. And that makes a huge difference. Nobody wants to sing a tight, closed E or oo, no woman, at the very top of their range. It's not helpful. So, understanding how the human voice works, best thing you can do. I definitely study that. Do you learn what the songs that aren't in English are about, or do you just learn the words to sing? This is a really good question. One of the first things that I do when I learn a song is I translate it into English. I do it word for word, and then I also do it poetically. Word for word, so I know exactly what I'm saying when, poetically, so that I get a feel for what the song's about. And I study that so that as I sing it, like when it gets time to perform the whole thing, I know what I'm saying. I'm not just like reciting in some other language. I know what the story is, I know what I'm looking at, I know what I'm looking for, stuff like that. Ideally, I would be fluent in all of the languages, but I'm not. So the best I can do is translate and continue to work on my languages. That means do it, Andrea, that means do it. Okay, and here's our last question. How do professionals sing for long periods of time without their voices getting tired? So the voice, it's like two little muscles, and they kind of move like this from bottom to top, they flap. So like any muscle, you train it to become stronger. Professional singers have just worked up their stamina to continue to sing. We're also very smart about how we use our voice. So when speaking, it's not like we don't talk like this, because vocal fry, like on speech, is very tiring. Sometimes you can use vocal fry like that and it's very relaxing. So we're very smart with how we use our voice, and that just like helps a lot with sustainability. It also helps a lot with just like the day of a performance, being ready to use the voice. We always warm up, we always cool down, just like you would with any other workout. That's really all singing is. It's working out your little larynx, yeah, your little gift. So I hope that this was informative and that you learned something that you didn't know before. If you have any more questions, feel free to write them in the comments or message me. Yeah. Bye.